In Fnaf, there is a big question on specifically multiple things, but for more specifically, there is a big misunderstanding with the time period or time setting of Circus Baby's Pizza World, or just this location in general. So, in this video, my goal is to try and decipher down using past games, books, and even context clues on when Circus Baby's Pizza World opened and when the Circus Baby's rental closed. I think a perfect place to start is all the way back in 1987, when the new and improved Freddy's first opened. You see, in this time period, this is the new and improved Freddy's, and we know that the first game takes place after Fnaf 2. So, with this, we know that there is a big time skip in between the new and improved Freddy's, Fnaf 2, and in Fnaf 1. Now, the big question is, when did Circus Baby's Pizza World open? Well, we know that in Fnaf 2, William was kicked out of the company due to Henry having the feeling that William was the perpetrator behind the crimes and not having the evidence. So Henry quietly kicked him out and then used their company to open a new company up without him knowing. After this, William went ahead and created his own restaurant, Circus Baby's Pizza World. But we know that William Afton also had the time to shut down Fnaf 2 using his classic crimes of just killing kids. So there's obviously a big area of time where William killed kids and then went to Circus Baby's Pizza World. So here's what I think the time period is. I think William Afton went out, and after figuring out that there was new improved Freddy's, he obviously became the day guard. Using his new position, he'd be able to go around the building and just kill kids. After shutting down, he would have wanted to make Henry feel like how he felt once he was kicked out of the company. Now, I have a feeling that he'd do this because William Afton is known to be narcissistic, a hypocrite, doesn't really care about what other people think, except for about himself. So he wants Henry to feel what he felt. So he would go out, make this restaurant, and try and overpower Henry. Now, if you want to know how I know that this is true, let's go ahead and take a listen at the initial trailer, or at least when you're inside of the elevator of FNAF's location, what hand unit says.
To the massive success, and even more so the unfortunate closing of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, it was clear that the stage was set, no pun intended, for another contender in children's entertainment.
Now, you can actually kind of hear the sarcasm in Hand Unit's voice, where he's basically saying, yeah, Freddy Fazbear's very big company, sadly, went downhill, sad closing. Now, you have to remember, Hand Unit is actually William Afton's creation, which means William Afton could use it however he wants to, which would make sense on why it has a sarcastic tone for something that he himself would take very seriously in this moment. Now, you might be wondering, how do you know that this is specifically talking about FNAF 2? Well, we know that FNAF 1 was a very rushed project, and it wasn't very overhyped. It was just kind of made as a last chance, a last chest compression to try and get the heart going. But, that didn't happen. It did kind of work. It was kind of popular. We know that people did go there for birthdays and stuff in the week before, but you know that wasn't as popular as Henry thought it should be. So why would he call it the sad closing of a restaurant that we know didn't have any murders in, and we knew closed because of a, financial issue mainly? Because he isn't talking about that. He's talking about FNAF 2, which we knew was popular because Henry advertised it as the safest, most, well-kept restaurant. And we know that is how it is. Because you can see in FNAF 1, the halls and everything have cobwebs. We know it's very trashed. And in FNAF 2, we don't really see that. It's very well kept. The animatronics are clean, except for the wizards, but that makes sense. And everything is very clean and swept, and everything looks more polished. Now, I just had to get that out the way, because with that, we know that Circus Baby's Pizza World comes after FNAF 2, at least. But we know it couldn't have existed after FNAF 1, because we know through the mini-games that William goes to destroy the animatronics and take their endoskeletons up or down to the basement or underground area to melt down their endoskeletons and inject the metal from the endoskeletons, turn it into remnant, and inject that into the Funtime animatronics. And we know FNAF 1 didn't exist until the 1990s at least. Another way we can pinpoint FNAF sister location, or at least Circus Baby's Pizza World, coming after FNAF 2 is because of a design choice. We know that kids and parents loved the designs of the new and improved Freddy's, where they looked like toys. They didn't look like genuine animatronics or suits. They looked like toys. So, William, you can see a lot of design choices that are similar to the toy animatronics, such as the toy animatronics having big rosy cheeks. And every single Funtime animatronic, even Funtime Chica, they all have the big cheeks. Also, the plasticky skin, the shiny skin, not the ruggedy, fuzzy skin, the plasticky skin. Even compare it to the FNAF 2 animatronics due to technology reasons. The technology that is used in FNAF 6 location was never used before, such as the more fluid bodies, how they could pose better, and which would have made them feel more human, which would have made them feel more comforting to kids at least. And I feel like William would do that thing where he tries to copy something right after it's done, being used. With this, we can say Circus Babies opened up around 1988 to 1989. The reason why I choose these dates is because if you think about it, it's in that time period where FNAF 2 just shut down, and it's at that just about point where just 1 year later, FNAF 1 would open up, eventually close. William could go in there, take the FNAF 1 animatronics and dismember them, and then get their endos down to the underground bunker, melt them down into remnant, and then inject them into the animatronics for rental services. And then eventually die due to him being greedy and wanting to go up for his spring Bonnie suit, or something that he just left behind in general, getting chased down by the spirits, and then being trapped in the spring Bonnie suit. Then Michael, in the 1990s, would go down and complete the mission that William originally created, was to set his daughter free. I'm in a closet right now. Just as one last nail in the coffin on why I think this is true. So, we know at the start of this location, before you even get through the first night, there is a cutscene that plays where you see Circus Baby, a close-up of her, and you hear William talking with a board director for Afton's Robotics, which we know Afton's Robotics was created after the fact of FNAF 2 when he was kicked out. Take a quick listen, and, yeah.
Doubting what you've achieved on a technical level. These are clearly state-of-the-art. There are just certain design choices that were made for these robots that we don't fully understand. We were hoping that you could shed some light on those.
She can dance. She can sing. She's equipped with a built-in helium tank for inflating balloons right at her fingertips. She can take song requests. She can even dispense ice cream.
With all due respect, those aren't the design choices we were curious about, Mr. Afton.
Well, with that, I hope we can all collectively agree that through my evidence and through, my reasoning and thought, that that Circus Babies took place in 1988 through 1989. FNAF certification taking place through 1990 or 1991. I hope you guys have a great day today, or a great night, or a great evening. God bless, and I hope Jesus shines a new light on you guys. See ya.